Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Preserving History and Democracy. I'm Cynthia Mendoza, Communications Coordinator, and today we have a pretty special guest with us. But first, Bern, do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Sure, I'm Bern, and I help out on the podcast. One of the things that we do here at the Office of the County Clerk is to register businesses. So today, to help us understand that process, is Tammy Goodman. She's going to talk to us about business licenses. Welcome to the podcast, and thanks for doing this.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me.
So let's get to know you a little bit better. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here at the clerk's office?
Well, for the last 25 years, I've been in real estate, and then I came to the county, work in recording and filing, and part of my job is the business registrations, and I love it.
Cool. So for those who maybe don't know, what is a business registration?
Well, the business registration, if you're a legal business in the county, you have to be registered with us, and so this just identifies that business as being a legal business in the county.
Okay, cool.
So let's start at the beginning. What if I have an idea for a new business? Where do I start?
Okay, if you have an idea for a business, but you haven't really done much with it, but you're thinking about getting it off the ground, you're going to want to start by going to the state first, getting it set up with the state, and I believe you can get on the Secretary of State's website, and they can kind of give you some pointers from there, but you're going to want to start there. Get your CRS number, that's the number that we're going to need for the registrations, and then you can get online to get our forms for your new business registration. Print that out, fill it out, and then you're going to want to take it to the community development and have them approve it and then bring it in for registration with us.
We recently had Chris Valencia from Community Development kind of tell us how it ties in all together. So pretty cool that, it's not just one department doing something here at the county. It's several departments that you have to go through to kind of do these things, right?
Yes. I mean, Chris was great when he came on the podcast. And then we do see that the departments work together, which is pretty awesome. Nobody's alone in this,
No.
So, Tammy, why do businesses need to register with us?
Well, it is a requirement of the county that they register. Okay. This lets the community know that they, like I said, they are a legal business in our area, and they're worth doing business with. So that's one of the reasons why they have to register.
So a new business has to get a CRS number from the state, get approval from the community development. What about existing established businesses?
If they're already established with us, all they have to do is renew every year. Okay, we send out our notifications in November for their renewal, and they have until March 16th of the following year to get that in before there is a $10 late fee charged on to the top of the $35. But that's all they do. And our form is also included in the notice, so they've got everything right there ready to go. They just have to fill it out, and they can either send it in by the mail, or they can come in person. One thing that we do require on these things is that the person that owns the business or the person that is the legal agent of the business signing for the documents, we have to have the wet signature, which means the original signature. We can't have digital signatures or copies of signatures. We have to have the wet signatures on the documents.
Okay, that's important. So what else is on the form? What else do they need to fill out?
Well, I brought my little forms with me so I could kind of go over this. Like I said in the beginning, when you start your business and you get your CRS number, which is your gross receipts tax number, or taxpayer ID, as we have it on our forms.
And that comes, from the state, right? That number?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The state issues that number. A lot of people mistake it for their EIN number, which is not the same. There's two different numbers.
Okay.
Anyway, that is the most important number that we need as far as a registration, because it identifies you as a legal business in the state and that you pay gross receipts or register your gross receipts tax. The next thing is to make sure that you have the correct business addresses and mailing addresses. A lot of times those are two different things. They're not always, mail's not always going to the business address. And the third thing is to make sure, like I said, to have those original signatures, wet signatures on the forms. Those are the three main things that those forms are going to require.
When would a business come to our office? And tell us more about the reminder notice that you send out.
A business would come to they can either come in, like I said, or they can mail their renewals in. Most of the time when we see people come in with for the business, it's when they're just registering, or they want to get information on the business, or they want to pick up the forms, which we have all the forms here in our office, ready. We can hand them out or what have you, but they can come in, they can fill it out, they can pay for it right then, they can renew right then, right here in person with us. And it's as easy as that. Or they can mail it in.
Cool. How long is a registration good for?
A registration is good for 1 year.
Okay.
Okay, we renew every single year. So it's an annual certificate that's good, and you can display that certificate in your office or wherever, on location, wherever.
So will you please summarize the process one more time for us about registration renewals?
Registration renewals. Okay, so once a year in November, we send out the notices that says, hey, we're going to be renewing in the next year. And they have until March 16th to get that in before the $10 late fee becomes, they'll have to pay that. Then it'll become $45. So what will come with the notice is the business renewal form. It has everything on there that they'll need. They just need to fill that out. There again, make sure that you have your CRS number with you, or attached on the form, written on the form, and it is the CRS number, not the EIN number. Fill that out, have your wet signature, and there again you can email it, or you can mail it in, or you can come in and pay it for $35.
Cool. I think a lot of people don't know that we are also kind of involved in this, because we talk about it a lot. Like, we do marriage licenses here, you record your deeds here, but a lot of people, I don't think, know that you also have to renew your business here, register your business here. So kind of cool. Have you seen any interesting businesses come through lately registering their businesses?
I talk to new businesses. It's just amazing how many small mom and pop businesses that I see, especially like seniors.
Yeah.
That are, doing a kind of like a side gig or something like that, or just to make a little extra money, they'll start up a side job or side business. We see a lot of those coming in now. But I did talk to a lady the other day, and I thought this was so amazing. She was calling about her business renewal, and it was a little grocery store, and I believe it was either in La Mesa or in Vado or Anthony, one of those little towns down south. And that grocery store had been in business and in their family for over 100 years.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh, how cool.
And I thought, as a former business owner, it's tough to keep a business going.
Yeah.
It's not easy to own a business.
Especially for 100 years.
And in one family, can you imagine the drama? And think about all of the economies that that business has seen in 100 years.
Right.
We had wars. We had, in the 1920s, we had prohibition. We had all of those things that,
And a pandemic recently.
and a pandemic in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
That
tough.
shut a lot of businesses down.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
A lot of those generational businesses, and when you're talking about 100 years,
Yeah.
you're talking about a generational business.
Absolutely.
And
Very
so
cool.
the history was, I thought, wow,
That's
that was
awesome.
pretty cool.
How cool.
I had an interesting one.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks ago, these young men came in to register their new skydiving business.
Uh-huh.
How cool.
So that I thought was pretty cool because, it's Doñana County that I feel that we need stuff for young people, especially,
Absolutely.
to have something local to do. So I congratulated them on their great idea, and I will be nowhere near that.
So speaking of these new businesses, and like you were mentioning, like the skydiving business is coming into town recently. We're going to be highlighting some businesses soon, and we hope to get the skydiving people because that would be pretty cool to see how
I
they
would like to see
came
them
about
in
that.
here, yes.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see how that comes along. And if you're a business who is maybe starting off, or if you've been around for 100 years and you want to talk to us about your business, we're going to go ahead and give you more details. You can email us at dacclerk@donianacounty.org. Let us know that you're interested in being featured on our podcast, and who knows, you might be on our podcast.
So don't be afraid to reach out to us. If you have a business, new or old, established or brand spanking new, come and see us, talk to us, and maybe you could be on the podcast, get a little time for Doniana County to get to know you a little better.
Plus, that's some free
Advertising.
publicity. Yeah. You can
free
always use that for a
advertising.
business, right? So cool. Well, Tammy, I want to say thank you for joining us. This is your first
You're
time on the
welcome.
podcast. You did great.
Well, thanks.
We're
I
so excited to
enjoyed
have
it.
you.
I always love stuff like this.
Well, thanks, Tammy, again for joining us, and we hope to have you on again soon.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed being here.
Awesome.
Love to come back.
Good. I'm glad. Well, my name is Cynthia Mendoza, Communications Coordinator with the Doniana County Clerk's Office, joined with our producer, Bernardine Caporale. I also want to say thank you to our editor and director, Jacob Slaughter, behind the camera. So we'll see you guys next time.